Welcome back to Auto MVIP, the channel where we dive deep into the most exciting cars on the road, the track, and sometimes the drawing board. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our weekly breakdowns, test drives, and insider looks at the machines that keep petrolheads like us dreaming. All right, let's get right into today's spotlight. The 2025 Buick Riviera GS 425. Picture this. A grand touring coupe that blends throwback elegance with cutting-edge tech, bringing the Riviera name roaring into the mid-2020s. Buick last teased us with a Riviera concept way back in 2013, but the 2025 GS 425 takes everything enthusiasts loved about the classic 60s Riviera Grand Sports and bolts it to a thoroughly modern platform. From the moment you see it glide up, the proportions signal confidence. A long, sculpted hood, swept-back roofline ending in a subtle boat-tail hint, and those hidden headlights that blink awake like a digital wink. Buick's designers clearly riffed on the 1965 model's split grille, yet replaced the chrome slats with a seamless, illuminated fascia that doubles as the daytime running light signature. Its retro cues mapped onto an EV-first architecture, and it works. Speaking of architecture, let's talk powertrain, because the 425 badge isn't just nostalgia. Under the skin sits GM's latest Ultium-based triple-motor setup, tuned by Buick's revived Grand Sport engineering team. The combined system output? You guessed it, 425 kilowatts, translating to roughly 570 horsepower and a tidal 640 pound-feet of torque. In real-world terms, that means 0-60 in about 3.5 seconds, which feels more surreal when you remember Rivieras of old were luxury cruisers first and muscle cars second. Yet the GS 425 manages to preserve that gliding character. Put it in comfort mode, and the adaptive air suspension lowers road noise to library levels. Switch to Sport Plus, and the dampers stiffen, rear steer activates, and you suddenly have a 2-ton coupe eager to play in the corners. Range anxiety? Not here. Buick claims the 118 kWh battery delivers up to 410 miles on the EPA cycle, thanks in part to a drag coefficient hovering just under 0.25. And when you do need juice, the 800-volt architecture accepts 350 kWh fast charging, adding about 200 miles in 15 minutes. Time just long enough to grab a coffee and admire the Riviera's sweeping body lines. Step inside and nostalgia meets near-future minimalism. Instead of the sprawling dashboards we've seen lately, Buick opted for what it calls the driver's horizon, a single 34-inch OLED panel subtly curved toward the pilot, with haptic feedback buttons dissolved into the lower edge. So, your fingers find climate or drive mode toggles without eyes ever leaving the road. The GS 425 debuts GM's new Skylink OS, blending Alexa-style voice control with Apple and Android integration, but the real party trick is the AI-assisted navigation that factors elevation, temperature, and your previous driving style to precondition the battery for max efficiency or max attack before you even punch the destination. Materials matter in a Riviera, and the cabin delivers. Semi-aniline leather tanned with olive leaf extract, open-pore walnut trim harvested from FSC-certified suppliers, and recycled aluminum speaker grills for the 22-speaker Bose Panoray system that can up-mix stereo tracks into 5.1 surround. Buick even resurrected the classic clamshell front seats, but this time they swivel 15 degrees outward when you open the frameless doors, sparing your spine in tight parking lots. Rear passengers aren't forgotten. Thanks to the battery's skateboard layout, footwells are deep, and a panoramic roof stretches nearly to the deck lid, so two adults ride in genuine comfort rather than token 2+2 contortion. Safety tech is top shelf. GM Super Cruise hands-free highway capability comes standard, now supporting automatic lane change and exit ramp navigation in all 48 contiguous states plus parts of Canada. LiDAR-enhanced perception means the Riviera can even execute automated parking in perpendicular spots, handy when those gorgeous 22-inch turbine wheels flirt with curbs. Now let's talk numbers, because I know you're wondering how much this slice of electrified Americana will set you back. Buick has positioned the Riviera GS 425 to compete with the likes of the Mercedes-Benz CLE 53 and BMW i5 M60, and pricing reflects that intent. The base GS 425 starts at $96,800 before destination. Call it just under $100K out the door. Tick the dynamic handling package, which adds carbon ceramic brakes and a torque vectoring rear differential, and you're looking at $104,250. Throw in the limited run Heritage Edition paint and interior palette, plus the track day data logger, and a fully loaded Riviera tops out around $111,000. Given its performance stats, luxury amenities, and projected low 5-year cost of ownership thanks to tax incentives and minimal maintenance, Buick's betting buyers will see strong value versus German rivals cresting $120K. Production kicks off in August 2025 at GM's Lake Orion plant, with first customer deliveries slated for early December. Buick says the initial U.S. allocation will be capped at 4,250 units, another nod to the badge, before rolling out to China and the Middle East. If you want one, reservations open June 1st with a refundable $1,000 deposit through Buick's online portal or participating dealers. Word to the wise. Insiders tell me nearly half of next year's build slots are already spoken for by repeat Enclave Avenir owners eager to add a statement coupe to their garage. Driving impressions? We haven't had seat time yet, but early prototypes. Spotted at GM's Milford Proving Ground show, surprisingly neutral handling and whisper-quiet NVH, even at high speed. I'm lining up a media drive the moment Buick hands over the keys, so keep an eye on the channel for that full review. Until then, if the specs hold, the Riviera GS 425 could mark a renaissance for Buick. Proof that heritage and innovation aren't mutually exclusive, but can dance together gracefully across the blacktop. So should you stash a deposit? If you crave a grand tourer that turns heads without relying on shouty styling, want EV torque minus range compromise, and appreciate a cabin that feels like first-class air travel, the Riviera deserves a spot on your short list. Just remember, like the original 65 GS, its cool factor partly stems from rarity. Miss the early queue, and you might be begging flippers on auction sites for a hefty markup. That wraps our deep dive into the 2025 Buick Riviera GS 425. Drop your thoughts below. Does Buick's electric comeback coupe excite you? Or would you save the cash for a Lucid or Taycan? If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, share with your fellow gearheads, and make sure you've subscribed to Auto MVIP so you don't miss our first drive impressions later this year. As always, thanks for watching, take care of each other, and I'll catch you in the next one.